It's day 5 of World Carnivore Month, and if you just started on January the 1st, today's the day you're probably starting to get some cravings. So let's talk about what you can do when those cravings hit. Hello everyone, Semiretired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. What you're watching is you're watching me walk. I know that doesn't seem super exciting, but if you consider 2.5 years ago I couldn't do this, I could barely stand for a couple minutes without severe pain, it starts to get a bit more interesting. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. It means a lot to me that you spend just a few moments of your day with me. I'd like to ask y'all to help me out just a little bit. Hit that thumbs up, drop down in the comments and say, "Hi, Bob." And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and consider subscribing. All these things are absolutely free and help me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life. I am 61 years old, and I'm doing things I couldn't do when I was 40. Like out here walking every day. It's a beautiful day in Omaha, Nebraska. If 13 degrees with wind behind it is your thing, you would love it here. We didn't get the snowmageddon they were calling for. As you can see, it kind of snowed a little bit. You don't have to go very far outside of Omaha to find deep snow, but the heat pocket of the city tends to break storms up as they roll over top of us. And then they reform over in Iowa. So looking at the road maps, it's pretty slick out there most places, but right here in Omaha is not too bad. But anyway, let's get talking about these cravings just a little bit. Because it's going to happen, especially if you're new to the carnivore diet or new to low carb, whatever version you're doing. What do you do when that craving hits? Well, the first thing I suggest, and I'm certainly no expert at this, I'm just an old retired truck driver, and I'm telling you what works for me. First thing is take a pinch of salt. Now, not the Umbrella Girl salt that also has sugar in it. You know, you've already bought a good salt. So you take a little pinch of salt. And that usually does it for me. But after you let that salt work into your system for a few minutes, if you're still having one of those cravings, distract yourself for 15 minutes or so. Just go for a short walk, pick up a book and read it, watch one of your favorite TV shows. But, you know, sitting in front of the TV is where we tend to get snacky and cravey. So do something else. If you can't go outside for a walk because it's 13 or 14 degrees where you are, then, you know, walk laps around your living room, or, you know, pick a path from your living room up to your bedroom and back, so there's some stairs in there, and just do a quick little 15-minute workout. Now, after all of that, if you're still having cravings, open up your fridge, because you've got some food in there, right? You've already made some boiled eggs, some pre-cooked hamburgers, some pre-cooked bacon. So all you have to do is throw it in the microwave and heat it up, or just eat it cold right out of the fridge. If none of that looks good, then you're not really hungry, you're just having a craving, you're bored, whatever it is. So at that point, go back to step one. Have a pinch of salt. Or, if you have some electrolyte waters, whether it be salty or Element or Redmond's Relight or your own homemade concoction, try drinking a glass of electrolyte water and see if that helps you out. Go for another little walk. Do some more exercising. Just do anything to keep from grabbing that carby snack. And if worse comes to worse, force yourself to eat some of the pre-made foods you have in your fridge. Regardless of whether it looks good or it doesn't, if you're like, man, I don't really want that, but I'd really like a moon pie. That's just your gut screaming for sugar. And it's sending those impulses up to the brain. So you've got a sugar addiction that still needs to be broken. Nothing wrong with that. It happens to everybody. So when you get deep into one of those, go ahead and eat some burgers. Eat some eggs. Eat some bacon. Because if you feed some fat into your body, along with a little extra protein, that will not only quiet the cravings, but you'll get so full to the point where you're like, ugh, I don't want anything else. And we've talked about this before. You don't have to worry about overeating carnivore foods. Now, I know there's some guys out there that say, oh, you can. And yes, you can overeat carnivore foods, but it's really hard. Especially as you progress in your journey and you start to get more active, it'll be a lot easier to deal with the extra food. But because we're just getting started, we're not going to worry about that right now. Because what we're trying to do right now is get past the sugar cravings. And that's some of the hardest parts for some people. You go along just fine, have 4 or 5, 6 days of carnivore journey, and then you wake up at some point and it's like, I need a moon pie, or a big load of sugar in my coffee, or whatever it is that you're craving. So try all of these things to help get rid of those cravings. And is it going to get rid of them? No, but if you can override, when you're full satiety and you're at the point where it's like, ugh, I don't want to eat anymore. You may not be past the craving, but you've kind of overridden it, if you know what I'm saying. The full sensors in your body that says, hey, whoa, I've had enough now. That'll enable you to get on through. And because we're just getting started, we're not going to worry about how much food we're taking in, as long as it's carnivore foods. Because this is day 5 of World Carnivore Month, and what we're really after is to eat nothing but good carnivore foods. And if that means you have to eat 2 or 3 or 4 times a day to keep yourself from falling back into the old habits of eating whatever happens to be in the pantry, then by all means. Because an extra pound of ground beef and 6 extra eggs is way better for you than that box of Pop-Tarts or whatever else it is you might be going to have. Hopefully some of what I said today made sense. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.